announcing that we're bringing in a bill to Parliament that's going to protect fans across the country. Because football is our national game. It's been so important to communities up and down the country. It's also world leading. The Premier League is a fantastic export. But what we've seen is clubs going under. We've seen financial mismanagement. And what the regulator is going to do is protect fans, protect clubs, protect communities. And that's why we're bringing in legislation before Parliament today.
It made sense for them to launch it at a Football League club. It's great to be close enough to Westminster to be able to host it. We were almost involved in a previous event as well over the Football Governance Bill. So myself, Omar, have been here on behalf of the club explaining what it means to both the players and what it means to an administrator like myself, what the regulator will mean for Orient. And we're particularly of interest, I guess, given where the club was in 2017 when clearly it wasn't even about to enter administration. It almost sounded like the death knell for the club. So in 6-7 years, I think everyone can be very proud of where we've got to, but the club should never have been in that position. And hopefully the launch of the bill today will avoid any clubs getting into that position in the future.
This bill does seem to be of importance because of the time that we're currently in. Do I believe that over-regulation needs to be put in place? Not necessarily, but we find ourselves where, this club was once upon a time facing liquidation, as I've said. We've seen what's happened to Bury, we've seen what's happened to Macclesfield, and we're currently having to see what's going on at Reading with the financial difficulty that they're currently in. So, yeah, it's definitely, I understand why we are now here, but yeah, I guess hopefully it leaves football in a better place. We want to protect the integrity of the game, and football has the power to unite people. Leyton Orient, our fan base is diverse. We want to be able to protect the power of football, and it unites people on a level like nothing else. So I think it's something special and something that needs to be protected.
What we want to make sure is that football is sustainable, it's financially sustainable, that clubs are well run, and we're doing this bill to protect fans. There's measures in it to ensure that there's more engagement with fans within clubs. For example, fans should have a say if the club's going to change the shirt colours, whether it's going to change its badges. We want fans to feel and continue to feel engaged. They are in many clubs across the country, but unfortunately not all.
Independent regulation of the game is something we've been campaigning for a few years now. I mean, there's been plenty of reasons to do it. This particular process has been triggered by the demise of Bury in 2019, and then obviously brought in greater urgency forward with the European Super League in 2021. It's 1,066 days since the European Super League collapsed and the fan-led review started. Now we've got to the point where the government has tabled the legislation to create an independent regulator, and it's potentially really important for the game. Football's had lots of opportunities to sort itself out, and yet you have a situation where there are clubs threatened with going to the wall. We still have owners and directors coming in who are asset stripping clubs or running them into the ground, threatening the future existence of it. Fans deprived of a voice in the game. We really need a governance of the game that guarantees the sustainability and resilience of the game.
We're lucky that we've got the board of directors and the ownership we've got. Our financial results show that we lose a considerable amount of money. That has to come from somewhere. The alternative is that you reduce expenditure. Most of our expenditure really and truly is on the field, so clubs will then end up being less competitive. It's one of the reasons why we're looking at a bigger stadium and trying to expand Brisbane Road and get more people in here, at least in the short term, is that we need to generate more monies so that the money we do put into the playing squad is affordable but allows us to be as competitive as possible. So we're trying to reduce the losses year in, year out. I believe that we're quite a sensible organisation. We're not overstaffed. We try and manage our finances pretty closely, and we're getting better, but we still lose money. Hopefully this bill will help. It will help level out the playing field, I think, a little bit between the EFL and the Premier League, particularly the Championship, where the cliff edge, the whole parachute payment system really just distorts the competition. So for us, it's about ensuring that it helps us ensure. Nigel's been on record as saying his legacy, he wants to make sure that his legacy is that Orient is around in another 100 years' time, that it's not just been a great 6 or 7 years since he's joined the club as owner and chairman, but that the club is around for a longer period of time. And for that to happen, it certainly will be helped by a fairer distribution of an awful lot of money that's sloshing around at the top level of football.
Football clubs are massively important. I'm a local lad, born and raised in Waltham Forest, born in Leytonstone, raised in Walthamstow, living, in the local borough. And Leyton Orient's been a massive part of my journey, and it's played a part in my aspirations, in dreaming big. To now being able to support and play for this club is massive for me. And do I want to see clubs like Leyton Orient fold? No, where would I be without it? Do you know what I mean? So I think it's really important to be able to protect these clubs. I also think it's really important that not just the measures that are put in place with regards to directors and owners that are put in place, but also the heritage. You want to protect the badge, you want to protect the location of the club as well. And I think not many fans maybe have a say with regards to that.